In 1519, Spain was looking to expand its empire. The governor of Cuba, a man named Velasquez, had heard a rumor of lands past the horizon of the country he governed. It had to be explored.
Cortez was not the man for the job. He was simply known for his courage and his money. Cortez had offered to help finance the exploration, and so he was captain. 11 ships and 509 soldiers set off from Cuba. Their orders? Not to attack any land. Cortez didn't think he had to obey any orders. The Spaniards arrived at the mainlands and almost ruined the mission when they attacked the Mayans. But they were able to make it to Tabasco, where they quickly conquered the people who inhabited the land.
When Cortez first arrived at the Mexican lands, there is a legend that a man named Quetzalcoatl would arrive at the same time he did. Quetzalcoatl was supposed to have white skin and a black beard. Cortez had white skin and a black beard. The legend was that Quetzalcoatl would overthrow the Aztecs and bring peace to all of Mexico.
So when Cortez arrived, he quickly figured out that the people of Mexico wanted to become friends with Cortez. Cortez knew that with his small army, he would need any help that he could get from the people around the Aztecs. No one liked the Aztecs because they sacrificed people daily, and those people that were sacrificed were often people from another tribe. Moctezuma, the leader of the Aztecs, did not believe in this legend. In fact, the only reason Moctezuma decided to meet Cortez is because he thought that Cortez was a messenger from another king. Moctezuma tried to do everything he could to keep Cortez out of Tenochtitlan, the capital city of the Aztecs. He threatened him, bribed him with gold, and even tried to ambush him, but all failed.
Cortez and his now 50,000 strong army advanced into the Aztec capital. What the Aztecs needed was help, and the only remaining tribe that wasn't on Cortez's side was the Tlaxcalan, and they hated the Aztecs because the Aztecs had been trying to rule and enslave them for 100 years. Moctezuma had no allies, and he knew that he would not be able to win any battle. When the two men finally reached each other in battle, Moctezuma said,
"We have known for a long time that neither I nor the people who live here are the original inhabitants. We know it belongs to strangers who come from distant parts. We always knew that they would return one day to rule us. We will obey you, and all that we own is yours."
Excellent news for Spain. The whole Aztec land, gold, and slaves were all Spanish now. The war seemed to be over, but it wasn't.
The Aztecs had cruel and unusual happenings going on in the city. They sacrificed people daily, and a Spaniard by the name of Diaz wrote,
Each peg had 5 skulls on it. A total of 136,000 skulls were counted, and this did not include the countless skulls that made up the walls.
But the Spaniards started to do their own terrors. After burning some Mexican chiefs at stake that the Aztecs had never even seen before, they smashed the Aztec statues of the gods to pieces. They also killed Aztec dancers at one of the Aztec harvest festivals. The Aztecs were ready for a revolt when Moctezuma tried to tell them that the Spaniards were their friends. The Aztecs stoned Moctezuma, and he died 3 days later. The Aztecs were fired up and expelled the Spanish conquistadors from the Aztec land. But Cortez wasn't easily discouraged. In 1521, he came back, and this time the Spaniards were fired up. They had seen their fellow comrades 2 years earlier have their hearts ripped out and their bodies thrown to the floor. Cortez still had all of his previous allies, but the battle was still extremely close. Cortez was captured by the Aztecs and was to be sacrificed, but he narrowly escaped. The war, which lasted 92 grueling days, ended in a narrow victory to the Spaniards. Hernan Cortez was elected governor of the new country, named New Spain. Cortez immediately sent one of his party, Francisco de Montejo, to conquer the rest of Mexico.
Captain General Governor Cortez had big plans for the Aztec cannibals. He converted them to Christianity, and if they didn't convert, he'd torture them until they converted. But if they still refused, they were executed. He flattened the magnificent city of Tenochtitlan and destroyed all the Aztec temples.
The Aztec peasants became slaves, and the Spanish conquerors worked them to the bone. The great blood-stained Aztec pyramids were pulled down, and the rubble was used to build new Christian cathedrals.
The many-year ordeal involved many deaths, much fighting, and a lot more money for Spain.
It is said that money is the root of all evil. So when Cortez wanted money, he created death, strife, but just as he wanted, he got his money.